I've just had the blood test. I had to wait for one guy to go in, but because the bus got there so early, I think it was a previous bus, because as soon as it stopped at the shops, it took off again. So I think it was running very late, and that just worked to my advantage. So now I've got to head to the Cook Highway. The stop up there takes about 10 minutes. You've seen it on my videos a few times. And just wait for the bus going to Smithfield. The bus driver wasn't fazed by the fact that I got on the bus just to go up that, go to the shops. Although I don't think, he may have been expecting me to stay on the bus to go the normal route, because he took off very quickly. Luckily, I made it clear I need to get off at the shops, so it was all right. Whew. Well, it's not raining today, that's the good news, but we may have thunderstorms later. Hopefully it won't affect my Friday night drinks with the neighbours. I'm hoping we can still go down to the beach house and see what the happy hour's like. And maybe happy hour costs more now because grog went up about 3.5%. So they may have put the happy hour schooners up to $6 from $5.50, but maybe not. If they do, it's going to be like a 20% increase since from $5 to $6, so that's quite a hike. So I don't know if they would do that. They might leave it at $5.50. Yeah, there's no rush to get to the stop today. Normally it's a bit of a panic. I've only got about 10 minutes to get there, but today I've got about 25 minutes, so absolutely no rush at all, because the bus is supposed to come by about 20 past 9, is it? Yeah, 20 past 9. Well, it's not even 9 o'clock yet, so oodles of time, which is good. I don't want to have to race there. And then hopefully the 110 will come before the 111, because I can't see the numbers on the buses, being a blind bastard. So I've got to, I just hail every bus I see. Yeah, someone, one of the people watching the videos paid out on me yesterday because I hadn't replied to one of their posts. And it was a very long post too, I might add. And I don't recall receiving it. And chances are I didn't, because with electronic messaging stuff, you just never know. I mean, with my my text messages, sometimes they can be delayed by over a day. So I don't see why YouTube messages may also be delayed from time to time. Anyway, they assumed that I just ignored them and paid out on me, which I thought was a bit presumptuous, because not knowing the extra circumstances, well, they weren't prepared to cut me any slack whatsoever. They just made me, well, you know, they took the negative attitude to life that someone had just basically done something wrong to them without actually knowing. And I think you can be positive with life, or you can be negative. You can take that think people are out to get you, or they're just some stuff up. In this case, I'm pretty sure and it may have been because of the length of the message that it was delayed, because I only received it late yesterday, and I replied to them straight away as soon as I got the messages. So, but that's our first time that's happened. It makes me think, in a way, it's good to have a YouTube channel that isn't super popular. I mean, I haven't even got 1,000 subscribers, so it's a pretty small site, pretty small channel, but that can be a good thing, because then you don't get a lot of negative stuff happening. Because say if I had 10 times as many subscribers, I may have 10 times as many people doing what she did, so making messages, making assumptions that I basically was slack and wouldn't reply, which is not the way I operate. If someone makes the effort to comment, I always reply. They'd have to be basically trying to trash me. The only way I wouldn't reply would be if they say they were using expletives and having a go at me. But she was having a go at me, but I replied. No, actually, I apologised to her, but I mean, I don't think I really needed to, because I don't think I did anything wrong. But anyway, it's the sort of stuff that happens with social media. The main thing is with my channel, the amazing thing to me is that the people I've actually met through it. I'm going to have drinks with 2 of them today. We do a regular get together. It's fabulous. So I never expected a YouTube channel to be so good socially. So it's been a real bonus. Much more, many more positives than negatives. So, yeah, there's a bus there now. I don't know which bus that would be actually, because it's strange, because there's none. They're not on the schedule, that's for sure. So that's weird. There shouldn't be another bus for about 20 minutes time. Maybe they're running super late. I might have been able to get that. It could have been a 110. Oh well. Anyway, I'll get to the bus stop, and there'll be a bit of road noise there. A lot of road works happening. You can see they've got signs everywhere, and they've got those plastic dividing things up the road there. There's a lot of stuff happening. Could be just creating employment for the sake of it, who knows. But yeah, I'll just wait around for the bus now, see how we go. Bloody hot getting out of the bus today. I did get the 110 up at the Cook Highway, and it was about 6 minutes late, but at least it was nice to get a direct bus to the Smithfield, and I got all the stuff done that I need to get it done at Smithfield. And of course I came across rude checkout chick at Woolworths, but that's to be expected. One of them was okay. One I actually asked to swap my batteries with, she was okay, but the other one was a bit of a grouch, and that's to be expected. I went and tried to get some wholemeal or multigrain rolls from their bakery. God, it'd have to be the worst bakery I've ever come across. They have none. All white bread. No variety at all. Now, in retrospect, that may be due to supply chain constraints with the type of grain they can get at the moment. I could cut them some slack on that one, I'm not sure. But they didn't mention it. It's just, they're not particularly good. I don't think they're very good at baking those products at the best of times. So that was pretty disappointing, but I did get the other stuff I needed, and I finally got my AAA batteries. Oh God, it's been a trial to get those, but I finally got the right size pack, and no hassles, just swapping it. I got a couple of really big ice trays from Kmart on the way up to Woolies, so that's good because they take a long time to set, the big ice trays. I think my fridge is pretty inefficient, so that's part of it too. But now I've got 3 of these deep ice cube trays. That should be good. I was told by friends too that if you get those fridges, those really expensive ones that actually make ice, you also have the extra expense every 6 months of having to re-gas them or something so that they can produce the ice. Filter, sorry, it's a filtering. You have to do some sort of filtering every 6 months if you've got an ice maker as part of the refrigerator. So that's a bit of a hassle. Personally, it's just easy just to pour the damn water into the tray. That's what I do, and I make sure I do it regularly, and so I don't forget it every time I empty out an ice tray. I fill it again. I just make it part of the routine, and that seems to work. be looking forward to a cold drink if that's the case, because it is oppressive weather, and I will not be unhappy to see the end of summer. My garden's actually doing quite well, funnily enough. That's the irony. So that's the only real positive at the moment, because otherwise it's affecting me pretty badly physically, the heat. Friday afternoon, almost 3:30, and I'm going to catch up with Steve. I'm going to walk across to the beach house, and it's pretty warm out. It's supposed to be 31 according to the internet, and it feels like about 38. There's a little bit of a breeze which is still taking a little bit of the edge off, so it's not so bad. I had a really weird experience with my air conditioning remote controls. I've got about 4 or 5 of the damn things, and only one appears to work, because I got new batteries. I tried them out on every one of the units, and none of them worked, because I couldn't actually adjust the temperature up from what was set at 24 degrees. But one of them finally responded and actually activated all the other air cons in the house. So there's another 4 units out apart from my bedroom, the master bedroom, and they're all operated by a different remote control, Kelvinator, aircon. And for some reason, only one of them now works. So I might get another one as a backup, because I'm a bit concerned. So the new batteries do work, but they're only working on one of the remotes, and they sort of light up the screens on a couple of others, but I can't change the temperature. And that's the indication of you've got enough juice to actually operate the aircon. So at least the aircons are working, because I checked them all. But yeah, it's just a quirk of these remote controls. So it was good to finally get my the AAA batteries. They do work, and now I've just got to hunt down a Kelvinator remote control and try to get that sorted. So that would be good. Yeah, it's going to be, wish me luck making this walk today. I'm going to definitely enjoy that beer when we get there. I might have to get Steve to help me get that Bollinger bottle of champagne open, because I couldn't do it last Sunday when I had friends over. I was going to offer him a couple of glasses. We just couldn't get the cork out of the bottle. That's never happened to me before. So it's a bit frustrating. You've got the plonk there and you can't access it. Apparently if you warm up the neck of the bottle in hot water for about 30 seconds, that can make it work. But it's never happened to me before where I haven't been able to coax the cork out of a champagne bottle. Not that I drink champagne that often. I'm not going that well, especially with the crappy shares that I bought. They're doing poorly. The ones I have already had before that are okay, but the ones I bought last December are diabolical. Well, just returning home after having drinks at the beach house, and it's interesting, we were actually sitting next to a major YouTube blogger. Can't remember his name, but he'd just moved from Melbourne up to this part of the world, and he's with his missus and kid and dog, and got about 500,000 subscribers. So we're talking about serious YouTuber there. And the thing is, what Yvonne and Steve mentioned to me is that they were looking at their YouTube stats while having a beer, so they couldn't relax. And I think that's a bit sad. I don't chase subscriptions, that's obvious given how small my site is, my channel, and I don't care. I've met some really good people and my quality of life has definitely improved because of it, and I don't need the money. So you know, good luck to them, but basically they're really tied to the YouTube algorithm, and it's like working for a boss remotely, I guess. So anyway, they seem like nice enough people, but it must be tough when you've got that much at stake when you're actually making YouTube videos, whereas I can just do whatever I like and it won't be BS. It'll be what I really think. My earliest start ever. I'm going to get the bus that leaves just after 7 o'clock in the morning. I've got a very early medical appointment, 8:30 in Cairns. Got to make haste. Even though it's so early in the morning, it still feels incredibly humid. February's been a fairly brutal month so far. We've had a lot of rain and we've had a lot of humidity. Yeah, there's a couple of dog walkers in Gannett Street. I guess when I actually got up, I didn't see anybody in my street going down there, but you can see there's people walking their dogs down there. And that's a huge thing here. It's a big social thing, the one that I miss out on. There's another one there. So this is sort of the social interaction I don't get because I don't own a dog, and it sort of seems to be a prerequisite. Yes, it is sort of like a calling card because you know, Steve was telling me he's met people, quite a few people with dog walking. My other concern is that if I'm going this early, I'm wondering if I'm going to cop all the school kids. Although there's none of them waiting here at the moment, so that's a good sign, I guess. But maybe we should check that timetable and just see what, because the next bus should be down. They've got this technology now where you've got to basically, you have to have a Wi-Fi connection, and you can check when the next bus is. But that's all good and well if you've got one. But I don't. I'd have to switch on my mobile data if I wanted to use it, which is a pain. Now I'm totally confused. Like, this is weird. Why does it say 8:11 first bus? That's total BS. Like I said, I already saw a bus and I think it was a sun bus, but I don't know. Totally confused. As it should be with public transport. There's another dog walker there. Everywhere. This time of day especially, I guess. Although I think Steve said he walks his dogs at about 9:30, so that's sort of after the rush hour, I would have thought. As much as I hate the heat, at least I guess we're not in Europe where it's freezing, and in Ukraine where it's a war zone. I mean, geez, you can't really afford to bitch when you're in a place that's so stable and quiet as this. But like I said, yeah, things are going to hot up, pardon the pun, because both sides are wanting to have major offensives, and I can't see the Russians pulling it off because they just don't have well-trained and led troops. So if Ukraine gets the hardware required, they may well be able to push through pretty quickly. That's my prediction anyway. They're getting these very long-range missiles, but they're not going to have them in their hands for a couple of months because they've just signed the contracts to produce them. They've got their range at the moment for Ukrainian missiles only about 75 k's or something like that. This will be doubled to 150. It puts Ukraine at a huge disadvantage to the Russians because they do have long-range missiles, and that's a recipe for disaster if your opponent can punch longer than you can. It puts you at a major disadvantage. Well, that would have to be the slowest bus ride I've ever encountered in Cairns. We were just crawling from Smithfield right down to Cairns itself. It was just bumper to bumper traffic. Never encountered anything like it. I should be here really early. It's supposed to be an 8:30 appointment. I'll be lucky to make it on time. And the bus is supposed to be here at about 8:12. So this is obviously peak hour up here. So if you've got a bus from Kiwara around 7 o'clock in the morning, it's gonna take you 1.5 hours to get down to Cairns. It's absurd, and just the way it is, I guess. But it shouldn't be anywhere near that length of time. It should be slightly over an hour. Actually, it's not so bad outside here. That was stinking hot in Kiwara. It doesn't feel as bad here. It's a bit of a breeze. Feels more refreshing. Well, it's been a pretty good day when it comes to space exploration, because SpaceX had a successful 33 engine static fire took place today. It actually wasn't 33 in total, because they had to cut off one of the engines manually at the beginning and another one was cut off at the end. So it was a 31 engine static fire that went about 5 seconds, which is a reasonable length of time as far as the technos are concerned to get the data that they require. So in that respect, it was quite a successful static fire, and it's a crucial step to actually having a suborbital flight, the first suborbital flight with the new Starship booster next month, and that is huge. So we need to get over this hurdle before we could actually see the first flight of this game-changing technology. It's game-changing because it's going to make access to space so much cheaper with bulk cargo possible, and it's basically going to make the moon base a reality within the next decade, and that's huge. So this could be the beginning of a new era of space exploration. So it's very exciting. Elon Musk said that the 31 engines out of 33 was enough to have an orbital flight anyway, so more than enough power from that many rockets. So in that respect, at this point, it looks as though it was a successful static fire, but we won't know until the boffins have had a chance to go over all the figures in the next week or so, and then hopefully they'll get the okay to do a suborbital flight, and next month is going to be even more exciting. It's been a long wait, and it's a big relief that they've got over this milestone. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.